Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever part of the world you are. Greetings from this end. I'm glad you're joining us today for this live stream. It's going to be a short but very powerful one. Go ahead and like all our pages. Please share the video, invite your friends, bring them onto the stream so they all can learn some very important information about the IT industry. So you're welcome. We'll be waiting for a few minutes so we have a few more people come on board so we can be able to pass on some important information, which I know is going to be very valuable for the people who are hungry. If you know you're hungry, you know you've had enough and you're determined to change the destiny of your life, you're determined to change the direction of your destiny, you are in the right place. Welcome, welcome. Let's give it a few minutes. Let's have, please go ahead, share this video, share the link, share, invite your friends to join this live stream. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be packed with a lot of information. It's going to be very, very engaging. And for some of you, you might be learning something that is going to be life changing, something that is going to transform your life like nothing else has ever transformed it. So go ahead, share the video, click the share button. If you're watching us on YouTube, like our page on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go ahead, subscribe to our community, join our community so you can get updates about what we do, right? If you're watching from any other platform, go ahead, share the link, invite your friends to join this live stream, bring them on board so they can come get some critical information about what is out there. It's usually said, excuse me, it's usually said you lose 100% of shots you don't take, right? And a lot of people die from lack of knowledge. That's what, for those who believe in the holy book, the Bible, that's what they say, right? My people perish from lack of knowledge. And then, of course, there's a possibility to learn those different things, right? There's a lot going out in the world today. There's a lot happening. There's a revolution happening. Things are changing fast, dramatically. Things are happening. A lot of younger people are having multiple different opportunities in an industry that is not talked about as much as it needs to be. I'm going to be talking to you about that industry today. I just want to share with you some very critical information that will be very, very important to help you, right? Information that you can use to really change things the way it's never been done, right? So if you're on social media, if you are within the ages of, not trying to eliminate anybody, but if you're within the ages of about 20 to about the mid 40s, you're familiar with social media, you've been seeing what's happening. There's a new young crop of very successful, hardworking, and I would say millionaire young people around the world today. And a lot of people don't know what they do for a living. A lot of people wonder what these young people do and ask themselves, how come they're successful? How come they can afford the good things in life? How come they're able to live the life they are living, generating the lives that are generating? I'm here today to share with you that secret. I'm here today to share with you that, right? It's all within the IT industry, the information technology industry. I call it the new gold rush. I call it the new oil. About 30 years ago, when you work in the oil industry, you were thought about as a very successful person just because, of course, oil was at the top, right? You work in the petroleum industry, you get paid handsomely, you make a lot of money, you live a good life, you take vacations, you buy nice cars, a nice house, beautiful family, but things have changed. And the beautiful thing about the changes that have happened today is that things haven't only changed, but the barrier to entry has been lowered. The barrier to entry, the things that used to make it difficult. When you think about the petroleum industry in those days, right? You needed to go to college, you needed to have a bachelor's degree in petroleum engineering. In addition to that, you probably need to know somebody working for Shell or Texaco or BP or one of these petroleum companies in order for you to be able to even get a chance at working in one of these industries. But today we live in a times where the IT industry is sitting right there, looking at you in the face and asking you, you want to take a piece of the cake? Come over and take a piece of the cake. That is the revolution that is happening today. We have people from all walks of life. We have people from all backgrounds being able to leverage the opportunities in the IT industry and taking advantage of that. I'm here to tell you, I don't care where you are in the world, I don't care what you're doing for a living right now, but you have to consider the IT industry significantly. And I don't say so to be nice, I don't say so to try to impress you, but I'm saying so because the numbers also speak for itself, right? That's the third most successful industry in the world today, number one. Number two, it is said by Forbes magazine, and you know Forbes is a big economic company that goes around and does economic research. And Forbes is saying that between now and 2029, the increase in employment for IT staff will grow by about 15 to 20%. What that means is if this year there are 100 staff, next year there will be 120. But what is even most beautiful about the opportunity that this presents is also the fact that you don't need to be a genius to be part of this industry. You don't need to be the smartest guy on the block to be part of this industry. I know that because I also am part of the industry. I know the path that it took me to get there. And I realized when I got into the industry, I asked myself, oh my God, I have spent my whole life thinking anybody working in IT, working with computers is such a smart gig. I'm not saying they're not smart, they are, but there's also room for average people, right? I used to think they're geniuses. You got to be this guy who can make a rocket in order to do that. And I'm here to dispel that to you if you're watching me. Welcome for all of you on the line. Go ahead, share the link if you're watching on YouTube, like our page, please. Go ahead, give us a thumbs up, share the link if you're watching on Facebook. Go ahead and subscribe to our community so you can stay abreast, right? So we're talking today about the IT industry and the opportunities that lie in that industry, right? And the secret behind how you see a lot of young people today, for those of you on social media, you see a lot of young people having a great time buying nice houses, nice cars, splurging money on their friends and stuff like that. They're not doing anything illegal. I just want to be clear to everyone, okay? They're not doing anything that is certainly illegal. They just work in the IT industry where they get paid handsomely, right? And then because of that, you can be able to live some of the nicer things in life. All right. So we're talking about an industry today also that has the capacity to change a lot of things for a lot of people. An industry that will certainly be able to bring people from any level to the level of really good success, significant changing in their lives, right? The median salary, I'll share something with you. Let me just share something. A few programs in the IT industry and the median salary. And then I'll come to explain to you how. If you see the slide on the board, these are just a few of the IT programs that are available on the market today, right? You have something like a Scrum Master, the Safe Scrum Master. An average pay for a Scrum Master is $120,000 a year. You have an AWS certified solutions architect where the average pay is about 122,000, right? An average starting pay for an AWS certified solutions engineer is 130,000. The average pay for an Oracle database administrator is 115,000. And trust me, these are just a few programs in the industry. There are even more in the industry than this. But here's the interesting part. Here's the kicker. Here's what really makes the difference in this deal. Before now, let's say you wanted to work in the oil industry, you have to go to college. You have to spend $150,000 in tuition. You have to learn for 4 years and come out, and then hopefully you get employed in that industry. But in the IT industry today, you don't necessarily need a bachelor's degree in computer sciences. You don't necessarily need a background in computers. These are all skills that are learnable in a short period of time, and you're able to change the story. Something like the Scrum Master program, it's about a 6 to 8 week program, right? The AWS Certified Architect program, couple of weeks, you are gone. The AWS Solutions Architect program, Oracle Database program, in a few short months, you take yourself from wherever you are to making above 6 figures a year. And I know a lot of people will be asking me, but Gustav, you said you're going to share the secret to us of how people in this industry are quietly becoming millionaires. Yes, they are. They are quietly becoming millionaires because the possibility is real, right? The possibility is not only real, but I can tell you for a fact it is worth it. I'll share something with you, right? As you can see on your screen, you see the average pay for these different programs that exist. These are the average pay that people get earned for these different programs. And this is out of pay raises, this is out of bonuses, this is outside of changing companies. Because in the IT industry, every time you change a company, you move from one employer to another. Excuse me, you move from one employer to another, you certainly negotiate a new pay, right? From the first time I got into the industry 10 years ago, and I worked for one company for 4 years, by the time I was moving to a new employer, I negotiated my pay up 40%. And when I got into the company, my supervisor told me I even shortchanged myself. I could have negotiated my pay 60% greater, right? So the possibilities are endless. I don't care what industry you're involved in today. If you are hungry, if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you have more month at the end of the paycheck, if you're worried about your own retirement, you're worried about the outcome of your children, you're worried about leveraging what can give you reasonable earning and reasonable compensation in this time of your life, you have to look at the IT industry. I can tell you for a fact, you have to look at the IT industry. That is where it is happening. I'm not saying so because I'm part of the industry, but I'm saying so because it is real. That is the industry where you have the lowest cost of entry for the highest return of investment. Think about it for a second. Take an example like one of the programs you are seeing on your screen, the Scrum Master program. It costs just $1,500 to complete that program in a few short weeks. And you come out making an average of about $110,000 to $120,000. What that really means is that you make about $12,000, $10,000 a month, which means within the first 2 weeks you make about $5,000, which means a tuition of $1,500 is just about 30% of your first paycheck. So by the time you do that for a year, your investment in the program is only about 1%. By the time you spread it out through your lifetime of work, maybe 20 years, 30 years, it's nothing. It's free, zero, zilch. That's what I'm talking about here. We are talking here about life. We are not talking here about some uh, business that is far-fetched, or you have to create some new thing, or you have to go bring somebody to sell something to. No, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about real stuff. I'm here to talk about an industry that is not talked about enough, but the cake is too big. Right? We are talking today about a time when even most companies are letting people work from home, including myself. Most people in the industry, we work from home. I can just do a little sample for you. I can show you my home office. Just to be honest. That is my home office, right? These are my computers. I work from the comfort of my house. I don't have to go out of my home. I don't have to drive. To be honest with you, sometimes I get up and my first meetings in the morning, I'm in my pajamas and I'm online like I'm talking to you. I just have to, turn off my video and I can attend meetings and I can work till the day, right? I don't miss no activities for my kids. I don't miss no appointments for my children. I can take a break when I want to. I go walk around the block, right? I can be on vacation in Hawaii, in Honolulu, anywhere in the world. I have internet and I can work if I want to work. Those are some of the reasons why I believe this is the best industry today to be part of. Now, talking about the compensation, I certainly mentioned to you, and I'm sure for most of you joining the call, please welcome, go ahead and subscribe. Please like us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up so that way you continue to receive information from us. If you're watching from Facebook, go ahead, like our page on Facebook, subscribe to our community. If you would like a one on one, cost free 15 minutes free consulting and advice on how to get into the industry. There will be a link in the bio. Check the messages. There's a link on it. You can be able to join. Just go ahead and complete the information on that link. There's a calendar on that. You go ahead and choose the time and the date on that calendar, and we'll give you a call and just talk to you one-on-one free on how you can get yourself started in this industry. Right? Now let's talk a little, let's do something practical. All right, let's just do something that is real. Okay, let's do something that is real. Let me share my screen here. um Let's do something that just I just want to show you a little demonstration. Just bear with me for a second here, right? Okay. Just bear with me for a second. I just want to show you a little demonstration. Now, because we're going to talk about those things, right? It's important that we talk about real stuff. Okay. It's important that we talk about real stuff here. And okay. And please just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay. Good. I want us to do a little demonstration here, just something that is real. I'm very practical. I like reality. I like to be transparent. I like people to see things for what it is, right? Let's do a simple demonstration here. This is from Bankrate, and it just basically can give you a chance to project your financial future. Okay. It can give you a chance to be able to set a goal and hit that goal. Let's take a very simple demonstration. Okay. Let's go here. I'll take my age for example. I'm 45 years old. I know you're thinking I'm 16. I'm 45 years old, right? Let's take my age for the demonstration. I'm 45 years old, okay? And let's just take an example. My target is to be a millionaire by the time I am 65 years old, okay? And now when I put together, let's say my savings, my retirement amount of, my 401k, all the different things, right? Let's just say it comes up to $50,000. Okay. Every month I make $120,000. We're assuming here. Let's just take the average for a Scrum Master. I make $120,000 a year. That translates into $10,000 a month, right? Let's say every month I'm able to save up $2,000, right? Let's take an expected rate of return. Okay. Let's take an expected rate of return of 8%. 8% is the lowest, and a basic ETF can deliver. An ETF is an exchange traded fund. It's just like a stock, a bucket of stocks. We're not going to get into that today. We'll get into that some other day. But I'm just giving you a basic example. You invest in an ETF consistently, which delivers 8% of returns. This is what I'm going to be worth by the time I'm 65 years old. 1,378,368. Okay. Now, think about it for a second. You get in the IT industry, you're working, you have a job paying you $120,000 within your first year, second, third year, you get a promotion. Let's say you get a pay raise, right? And your pay raise, they give you an additional $3,000 more a month. Okay. So you move up to about $13,000 a month. You decide, okay, because of the $3,000 a month, I'm going to increase my savings by half of that amount. And so you're doing 3,500 a month. That's what you're going to be worth by the time you're 65. Okay. I'll be worth 2,237,358. Now let's do something again, right? In about 5 years, you've moved up the ranks. You're now a manager, right? You have an increase. You have an increase in income significantly, and you say you are able to afford it. You have two incomes at home. Maybe you have a partner, right, at home, and a significant other. You both are making some good money, and you say you want to put in $10,000 a month into this. By the time I'm 65 years old, I'm worth $6 million a month. Okay. So when I tell you that the one industry that is quietly producing millionaires is the IT industry, I'm not saying that out of nothing. I'm not saying that out of hot air. Are we together? I am saying that because I know that it is working. I know colleagues, I know friends, I know people who have gone through programs that I deliver that started 3, 4 years ago, and today they are worth over $1 million just for working in an industry that compensates you handsomely. an industry where you don't have to stress too much, you don't have to work long hours, you can work from the comfort of your home, you can take vacations along with your family without breaking the bank, right? There are all kinds of benefits and all kinds of interests in the IT industry. So today I just wanted to take this time during the live to talk to you about that industry, to talk to you about what lies ahead in this industry, right? What it is that is possible for anyone sitting out there. Maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're feeling like, oh, you know what? I've gone to school. I've done a bachelor's degree in this. I have a master's in this. They're only paying me a certain amount of money, and it's not enough, right? About 3 days ago, I had a conversation with one of a prospect, just like you watching me online today, and they booked an appointment. And by the way, we have the link for the appointment in the message board. Go ahead and book an appointment, one-on-one, free 15 minutes consulting call. And I had a conversation with this person, and we started chatting. And the person told me where they went to Georgia Tech. They spent about $109,000 for their bachelor's degree, right? And they did another a master's degree for another 70 something thousand, and they were in about $180,000 in debt. And they're working for the state. They are making about $65,000. I said, listen, I respect the states. I appreciate the work they do. There is no question about that. It's important work, right? But I asked him, what is it you want for your life? What is it you aspire for yourself? Where do you see yourself? And we started doing the math, and it was very clear within the first 2 minutes that $65,000 is not going to cut it. By the time you pay the tuition loan, you try to pay your mortgage, you're planning for college education for your children, you are planning for your own retirement. It's estimated that in our generation we are going to live a little longer. So to be able to live comfortably up until retirement till we die, you need to have about $2 million. Is 65,000 going to get you to that point? How do you get there? That was the question. And he was able to see it very clearly that it's not possible to get there using that path, right? So I was explaining to this person that there are opportunities within the IT industry where you can come in, you can do a short program for a couple of weeks, you're able to get qualified, get the knowledge, get the skill set, you interview, get a job, and you can be able to start commanding some real money. And from that real money you're commanding, now you can go ahead and be able to save up and know that by the time you get to a certain age, you are worth a certain amount of money. So there is no doubt about it anymore. There is no projecting with fear. There is no worrying whether it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. There is none of that. There is just the reality and the certainty that as long as God gives you good health, you continue to work in the industry, you will be worth that amount of money. Are we together? So my goal today was just to come to you to pass you some very important information. Here at Icon IT, our goal is to lead. Our goal is to give you information, to give you skill, to give you knowledge, and to give you the ability to be the leaders in the different communities where you belong. The cake is big enough. The opportunities are out there. If you're sitting listening to me today, you're feeling stuck, don't feel stuck. Just go ahead, feel for an appointment if you can, book a 15-minute conversation, and let's have a chat about what opportunities lies in the IT industry for you. And I'm glad you joined us today. I'm glad you're online with us. Go ahead, if you're on YouTube, like our page, subscribe to our channel, please. Don't only like the page, but go ahead and subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us on Facebook, join our Facebook community, like our page, share this video with your friends, share this information with your friends. I promise you one thing. Don't be afraid to share the information. The cake is big enough. The cake is big enough. In fact, in the industry today, it's no secret that a lot of people have multiple jobs. The reason why is because there are more jobs than qualified people to do the job. I'll give you a simple example. The US government is the biggest consumer of IT in the world. They have about 500 to 600,000 IT staff openings every day, and they cannot fill it. One of the challenges they have to fill that is because the people who have the skill don't necessarily have the clearances, but a lot of the challenge they have to fill is that people don't have the skill. They just don't have the skill. People don't know about it. People don't know that it's an industry that is lucrative. It's an industry that is very, very, very possible to get into. The barrier to entry, as I mentioned to you at the beginning, has been lowered a lot. There are a lot of companies out there looking for you to come in and change their story, right? There are a lot of companies that need the skill set you have. And I know you'll be asking yourself, am I smart enough to do this? Do I qualify? Oh, I went to school and I studied literature. I went to school and I did math, history. Well, yes, 70% of people working in the IT industry never did anything related to computers. Are we together? I want to clarify that, including myself. 70% never did anything related to computers because it's a skill you learn, it's a software you learn, right? It's an application you learn. Becoming a Scrum Master is a role that you learn how to play that role. Becoming an AWS Solutions architect, you learn a technology and you learn a role, like with everything, right? You learn, that's it. And the human mind is very expandable. The human mind is unlimited. The human capacity is unimaginable. Don't limit yourself. I want to go past your mind and go straight into your heart, because a lot of times you listen to information like this and you start asking yourself, how? Don't ask yourself the how. Just ask yourself the why. Why do you want to change your story? If you're ready to do that, book an appointment. Let's have a conversation at some point. Free, no charge to it, just information to help you change things for yourself. I'm very, very glad you're online with us today. I promised at the beginning I wasn't going to keep you long, and I think we've gone very, very detailedly into this. Stay tuned. On Friday, we're going to have another live show, and on doing that live show at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be having some guests who are going to talk to you about their own experiences. They're going to share with you some different ideas and different ways by which we can circumvent and be able to really live the lives that we've been aspiring to live. We live in a time today where the opportunities are plenty. The challenge is that a lot of people spend time on the computer, on social media, on all these platforms, and they are not looking for information that can change their lives. They are looking more for information that can entertain them. Here at Icon IT, we're here to change your life. We're just here to pass information that can help you change the story in a significant way, right? We are not here just to entertain. No, we don't entertain. We are here to give you information, life-changing information, information that a lot of people who have benefited from it are now sitting by themselves and thinking and being very, very grateful that their paths cross. I remember a young man out of Atlanta, Georgia, 26 years old. He used to sell food in a restaurant. He was a food service worker, making about $14 an hour. And his mother insisted on him to join this program because his mother learned about this watching on YouTube one day. And the young man joined one of our programs, and about this, 2 months later, that's about 8 weeks later, he was qualified. He started applying for jobs, finally landed his first job as a Scrum Master, starting pay $128,000 a year. I remember when his mother and himself called me and they were talking about that opportunity. They burst out crying, and I started crying too. I'm human. I started crying not because I'm weak, but I started crying because I realized how much people don't know, which is happening out here. How much information can change the destiny of not only an individual, but a family and a community. So if you're listening to us today, don't keep this information only to yourself. Share it with your family, share it with other people. It's better when more people win together. The opportunity is there. The IT industry, I can promise you, is the new gold. This is the new oil industry. It's not going nowhere. It's only getting bigger. It's only getting better. The demand is getting more. I live in Austin, Texas. Tesla is moving into Austin. Tesla needs about 1,500 technologies. Samsung is building a campus bigger than Apple, Tesla, Facebook, and Google campuses all put together. A campus for about 15,000 staff. And of those 15,000 people, about 5,000 are going to be computer technologists. Different programs that I told you about. They need that. Companies need you. Companies need you to help them. They need you to help them solve their problems. And in that process, you are making a beautiful life for yourself. All right? So as you go back home today, I don't want you to think about it too much. Don't think about it. Don't try to overanalyze it, because when you try to do that, that subconscious, that natural default button in our mind will start telling you, but how am I going to do this? How? The how is not your problem. The how is our problem. Your problem is making that decision on why. Why do you want to do this? If you're hungry enough, if you feel like you've had enough of turning around the same place, if you feel like you're getting older and your retirement is not getting ready, if you feel like there are 2, 3, 4 kids coming up, you're not sure you're going to be able to pay college for them, if you feel like by the time your father or your mom asks you for help, you send them a little money to help them, and you're starting from square zero, then we need to have a conversation. Then we need to have a chat, and let's do that. There's a link in the message. Go ahead, book an appointment, come talk to us free of charge. 15 minutes, let's have a conversation. Choose a day, choose a time, let's have a chat. I'm glad you were online with us today. As you go back home, you'll be well, you'll be blessed, and never stop being a blessing to somebody. Thank you for joining the live show. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, join our Facebook community. It's a fast and growing community. We share a lot of information out there. We help each other grow. We help each other change their story. And we believe by doing that, we're also helping the world become a better place. Because the more of us can be elevated, the more of us can help other people get elevated. Have a wonderful evening. I hope to see you again in 2 days on Friday. It's going to be interesting. Tell your friends, subscribe so you can get a notification when we're getting online on Friday. You will be fun. You'll get to see some different experiences. You'll get to listen to more important information. You'll get to hear it live from people who will, just like you, were sitting someday and watching something like this, and they decided to take a step in the right line, in the direction of their destiny, and their story changed forever. All right. Thank you for hopping on the live show. You take care. We talk to you soon. Blessings and have a wonderful evening.